Welcome back. You heard the Chief Financial Officer at the Department of Homeland Security, Troy Edgar, a moment ago, attribute some of the success of the transition to a new financial management system the Transportation Security Administration is on and the Coast Guard will join to his colleagues at DHS. One of the colleagues he mentioned is Karen Evans, the Chief Information Officer at the Department of Homeland Security. Karen, welcome. It's good to see you again. Where was this financial management project when you joined DHS? And what did you have to do in your office to get it where it is today?
Well, there's a very robust team and program office, the JPMO. I'm sure that Mr. Egger talked about that. There were a series of issues that had to go forward. And it was really a pretty exciting time because coming into DHS, I was there in the beginning to see how DHS was progressing along with its financial management systems. And as you know, there were a series of lines of business going to government providers, and they had made that decision and had this program launched. So the Chief Information Officer's responsibility is to partner to make sure that the right security is there, to make sure that they have the things that they need to make sure it can scale, the training, the connections, the enterprise types of services. And that's where we truly partnered with them.
How much can the Coast Guard copy what TSA has done in its transition to cut down on the transition time that the Guard has to make? And how much of that will be replicable as the other components transition to this system?
So where a lot of the lessons learned and really was the outreach and the communication strategy associated with the implementation. So this is a huge change management issue. So a lot of the training, a lot of the town hall meetings, a lot of the outreach, the partnership with the components themselves, how to get that can be duplicated. Each of the components, though, will have some type of unique requirement. So like in the case of the Coast Guard, they're actually part of the .mil enterprise. So this really adds a level of complexity, but it will also give a lot of lessons learned, and DHS is already, we're so partnered and joined at the hip with DoD anyway, that then offers a unique opportunity going forward with Coast Guard.
But it sounds like what you've got in place is a situation where it's easy to assess, it's easy to pull out those individualities for each of the components and say, all right, the rest of the 85% that's the same as the other components, we can move forward on that pretty much in a cookie cutter way and then customize these pieces around the edges. Am I hearing you right, Karen?
Yes, and what is really critical in this partnership is those uniquenesses about each of the components. That is what can be identified from an enterprise perspective of where the CIO has that visibility into how they're constructed, how they do access, the other types of interfaces that they have. What can really be replicated and through the lessons learned on a modernization is, okay, we had these uniquenesses as it related to financial transactions, but financial systems, right, are the same. You have to have accounts receivable, you have to pay people, you have to have those. So those things can be now accelerated as you add more and more lessons learned. The real key to success, though, I think that Mr. Egger did going forward was the town halls that he did jointly with the components. And also there was a whole series of leadership monthly meetings in order to make sure that you are addressing and identifying any potential pitfalls in the critical path going forward. And then the program office itself, we put people in there so that we were working jointly so that things that were associated with cybersecurity or network connections or those types of things were identified up front before they became a problem during the implementation.
What is in place for the next CIO and the next CFO at the agency to pick up where you left off and continue the momentum?
Well, this is on a roll, so this is pretty exciting. It was pretty exciting to be here to see TSA actually come up on a modernized financial management system. So it seems like such a nice way to go out from my perspective in my career. But the challenge is getting the department to continue to move forward in modernized financial systems. But it's not just this. And what is happening in this particular project, which is really exciting that we're partnering with them, is moving the financial management system to the cloud and making sure that it scales so that everyone can use it and that the security is in place. And that truly will be a challenge, but the team that's here now is up to it. There's a great team, both between CIO, CFO, and with the components that, maybe I don't want to jinx the project, but I do think that, a lot of those pitfalls, it'll be a little bit easier for the incoming CIO and CFO.
We just have less than a minute left, Karen. The last time we did one of these, as you were on your way transitioning, you played Guitar Hero on my radio show. I'm not going to ask you to do that today, but I am curious what you will do next Thursday.
I thought about it, and I was going to have something pithy. Like I thought, I'll come back on your show, Francis, and share lessons learned based on, how to handle the cybersecurity incident that is going on. It's a lot of fun. I think what I'm going to do is reflect a little bit, but based on what is happening in the government, I'm really focused on how I can continue to make a difference and contribute for the performance.
I'm happy to book you for next Thursday. Thank you very much.
Okay, thanks.